Hello and welcome to our discussion on financial statements. In this session, we will try to create the backdrop for undertaking a detailed financial statement analysis. So we are calling this as understanding the financial statements. For this, we have taken an example of the financial statements of Apple computers. So when we say financial statements, you'll have the balance sheet, you'll have the cash flow statement and the income statement. So when you see any annual report, besides the notes to the accounts and lots of information about the business, you will definitely see the balance sheet, income statement and cash flow statement. But you can see the large number of items on these three financial statements. So there is a need to understand these statements individually and then undertake the analysis of the financial statements to answer some specific questions relating to the company. So in this session, let us pick up the balance sheet. So balance sheet of Apple for the last 3 years from 11, 12 and 13 are given here. But even in this balance sheet, we can see a large number of items. So as to set the ball rolling on the financial statement analysis, maybe it's useful to convert this balance sheet into a condensed balance sheet, and this condensed balance sheet can have limited number of items, let's say current assets, non-current assets, current liabilities, non-current liabilities and equity. And all these five items will capture all these items which are there on the balance sheet. So the current assets are so what we have done is combined cash, short-term investment, net receivable, inventories and other current assets together as current assets total. And the non-current assets are which will be the summation of long-term investments, property, plant and equipment, goodwill, intangible assets and other assets. So we have converted all the assets into two broad categories, that is the current assets and non-current assets, and the total of the current assets and non-current assets is 207,000 millions. In the same manner, the current liabilities of Apple consists of the accounts payable and other current liabilities, and the non-current liabilities of Apple consists of long-term debt, other liabilities and deferred long-term liability charges. As we move along, we'll understand what are these deferred long-term liabilities, which is a case with most of the IT or technology companies. So the current liabilities are accounts payable, major component, and a significant part of the non-current liabilities are the long-term debts and other long-term liabilities. And the remaining amount is the equity. Equity of the company consists of the common stock, the retained earnings, and if there would have been a treasury stock buyback of shares, that would have been reduced, and other stockholder equity. These are actually some comprehensive incomes and losses which are allowed to be shown on the balance sheet, like the fluctuations in the market value of investments. So items like that generally are shown under the balance sheet as other equity items, which are not part of the stock, which are not the retained earnings from the current profit, but they are profits or incomes, but not directly from the operations. And the summation of this will be the total which will be equal to the total assets. So what we have done is, in order to undertake a detailed analysis, maybe it's useful to convert the given balance sheet into condensed balance sheet, but one has to be careful that all the items are properly classified, because based on this classification or based on this condensed balance sheet, we'll undertake the detailed analysis. So in the same manner, we can do that for all other 3 years, and we can see that the balance sheet of Apple now looks like this. Now each of these items can be actually picked up and then can be analyzed depending on the questions that we have regarding Apple. So the first step is to observe the financial statement or collect the financial statements from the annual report, then convert these financial statements like balance sheet into a condensed balance sheet, then be ready, then undertake the analysis depending on the issue that you would like to analyze. Thank you very much.